there, weavers, welcome back. This is Grace with Tangled Webs Weaving. And as you can see, I am threading, well, I've already threaded, I am slaying the project that is next on the list. Now, this is a run of towels, and I thought I would do one of the projects out of the Weaving Hand Towels Simply by Susan Kessler Simpson. And here's her book. Now, there's been some talk online that there's a few errors in this book. So when I got it, I decided to email Susan and ask her if she had a list of the errors and the corrections. And she was kind enough to email me back and let me know the ones that had been found out. And they're minor. So I've made a note of those in my book. And this is the first towel that I have decided to weave. Now this is 8/2 cotton, and it is in the towels are called Fiesta towels. So they're in, we're gonna say Fiesta colors. I have stripes of white alternated with red, orange, blue, yellow, and green. Now, I liked these colors so much, and I liked the idea that I also decided to take these colors and design some coordinating placemats in a 3/2 mercerized cotton. So when I get these off the loom, I will be weaving those. And they're not going to be stripes like this. There'll be one repeat of the 5 colors of stripes in the warp on either end of the placemat, and then on the weft on either end of the placemat. So it will have the 5 stripes outlining where your place setting goes. But in the meantime, I am getting these on the loom. Now this was a really easy project to warp. It's just 4 picks or 4 warp threads of the white, and then 4 threads of the color. And there's a white stripe between each color. So when I warped this on the warping board, I didn't cut the white. I just crossed the white over the other colors. So I did the parking like I've done in the past. I parked the white and I wound 4 threads of the color, and then I tied the next color to the end of that color, and then I wound 4 threads of the white, and I continued on in that fashion. So I was only really having to cut and tie the colors together. The whites I did not have to tie at all. This is also an easy threading. It's just a straight draw threading, and it uses 8 shafts and 4 treadles, and it creates mostly a plain weave, but it's got kind of a twill in the stripes that should prove rather interesting. I think that it creates a little bit of a texture. It's threaded, or it's slayed at 20 ends per inch and woven at 20 picks per inch. Now, the towels in Susan's book are a little smaller than what I prefer, so I did modify the dimensions a bit and accommodated, and that was easily accommodated with the repeat of the colors. So these are being slayed at 22.2 inches in the reed, and when they're finished, they should be just under 20 inches wide after draw-in and take-up, and well, the take-up doesn't matter as far as the width, but the draw-in and shrinkage. And then I'm going to weave them so that they end up being about 20 inches long after they are hemmed and wet finished and they shrink up. So I prefer my towels a little bit larger than what Susan has in the book. Now the book also gives you warp measurements for 2 towels, and for me that is just not really enough. So I put on a 9-yard warp, and that should give me about 8 towels. I might get a little more out of it, just depending on things. So maybe I will end up with a napkin or a dish rag out of the process. This has been a very fast project to get on the loom. I have been working a bit more at my job, so I've only been weaving in the evenings like it is right now. So one night I wound the warp. The next night I got it on the loom, and tonight I was able to completely thread all the 444 petals, and I'm going to get the reed slayed. Well, we are ready to start weaving. As you can see, I have the warp tied on, and I just love the pretty colors. It's just so invigorating. But we have the warp tied on. I have spread my warp using some thick scrap cotton yarn that I had sitting around. And then I've put in 4 picks of a fusible thread. And I like to use fusible thread at my hems so that I don't have to zigzag the end. I just run it through the washing machine and a hot dryer, and it helps melt that. And then I iron it really good, and it fuses and holds the hem until I can get it hemmed. I can fold the hem and get it hemmed. So it supports that weft. So we're going to start in with the first pick. Now this is an easy weave. It is 4 treadles, one after the other, a straight treadle, and white weft yarn. There's no color changes. All the color happens in here. Now this is woven with the face down. So what we're going to be seeing on the top is not what the face of our towels is going to be. But we will see how it looks. Who knows? Maybe we like the down face better. I don't think so though. So it's kind of a twill, but a plain weave. So the white is threaded in a plain weave, and then the colored ones are kind of a twill. I'd have to look at the structure again to see exactly what it ends up being. Because we're working with an 8/2 cotton, I am going to split my tails. It's going to be in the hem allowance, but I just like doing it anyways. And we are shooting for 20 picks per inch. So we'll see how I do. And we have floating selvages. That was the wrong treadle because I forgot to move my foot. So we do 3. And I'm not doing a different treadling sequence. Oops, that goes under. For the hems, I'm just treadling the pattern. 8. And I think I'm going to back the tension off on my end feed shuttle a little bit because it's pulling the selvage in a little bit. Okay. And I don't think that was right. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, let's see what I got going on here. So this pick right here, I had my foot on the wrong treadle. So that should be a 1. One more and we should have our inch. Now I have not been beating very hard at all. I have really just been placing the weft. Let me see what I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, perfect. And if I look at the white stripes, I have plain weave. And one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of what I've woven. And then when I look at the picture, it magically will show the errors. And I'm videoing this, so that is my picture. And if I look at the picture here on my screen, I really don't see anything jumping out at me. But that is one way to kind of double check, is to take a picture of your weaving and then just look at it, and those errors will jump out at you. So I am a little, like a teens, 1 thread over 1 inch. So we are doing great on the beat. So we'll just continue on for 39 inches, or not 39 inches. I think this is gonna be, I think I calculated it out to be around 32 inches. So as you can see, I'm using my end feed shuttle, and I thought that this would be a good use of it. I'm not going to have to be changing bobbins frequently. It's a nice narrow shuttle that can go through my shed easily, and it doesn't want to go under that floating selvage, I think because I need to advance my warp. So let's go ahead and do that. I like the way it's looking. When we get to so that it's wrapped around, I will bring the camera down and you can see the underside. I really like this. I'm excited to see, ooh, I peeked underneath. I like the other side better, definitely. But the reason that they have you weaving it this way is because you're having to lift fewer shafts. So it's kind of more of a, on the other side, you would be lifting more shafts. So it's good that they have you weaving it this way. It is a little bit harder to see if you make a mistake, but hopefully I won't make any mistakes. Yeah, right. Okay, let's advance our warp. And I am also going to grab my tape measure so that I can keep track of where I am. So the way that I keep track of the length of my towels is I have this tape measure, and some people use cloth tape measures, some people use paper tape measures that they get from IKEA. People use grass grain ribbon. Anything that's non-stretchy would work fine. So see, I've already done 10 inches, so I've got 1/3 of my towel done already. first bobbin down. All right, so we will. Now I loaded 7 bobbins. I have, or perns, I should say. I have 8 perns. One of them had more yarn on it than I wanted to wind off. So I loaded up 7 of these babies because I knew I was going to be going through them quick. This is 2. So the way I do this is I'm going to feed that tail back in so that I've got both the old and the new coming through. And that will just help carry both of them across. I'm going to overlap these by, probably what, a little more than 1 inch. Yeah, that's about 1.5 inches that I'll overlap them. And then I'm going to pull out either side, untwist the plies, so this is an 8/2 cotton, so there's only 2 plies. So I'm going to go back through the same shed with one of the plies from the new yarn. And I'm going to do the same thing with the old yarn. And go through the same shed with the old yarn tail. And then I will beat that in. Now you can see in here where they overlap, I've got a 2-ply yarn. So when I get this all finished weaving, wet finish it, you will not even be able to tell where that join is. And because I don't like having these tails sticking up, I'm just going to cut them all off. And see, even now, you can't tell where it was. You can from my vantage point because I'm a lot closer and I can see where they're not plied together. But yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. Go ahead and advance again. And then we can come down and take a look at the underside. Okay. All right, so here we have the side that is being woven. And now we're going to go and look at the underside. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So that is what the front of my towel is going to look like. Much brighter, that real Fiesta look. So that is very cool. All right. And before I go any further, I'm gonna check my beat again. And we'll just say from here, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am still 2 threads over. All right, well, I like it. I don't really care. What have I got here? What the? Oh dear. All right, so a loop of yarn got caught on my little clip there. So I'm gonna have to fix that. It's only, what, maybe 2 picks back. I'm glad I saw that. All right, there we go. 1. Well, weavers, I think this has been a personal best for me. From winding the warp to getting them listed on my Etsy shop was probably about 1 week. And that's with me working my day job too. So it took a lot of weaving over the weekend, but I got these done. So let's take a look at them. I really like the colors. I mean, that is Fiesta colors, right? So as a reminder, this is an 8-2 cotton. This pattern is Fiesta Towels by Susan Kessler Simpson, and it's out of her book, Weaving Simply Hand Towels. It's the first project in her book, so I thought that this was really appropriate. It is, I wove them at a little bit bigger towel than what she called for, but that's okay. That's what we do. I put on a 9-yard warp. It was 22.2 inches in the reed. I wove them at 36 inches under tension. Once they were wet finished and hemmed, I ended up with 8 towels that are 17.5 inches wide by 28.5 inches long. And they look great, right? Nice, generous towel. You can throw this over your shoulder and still wipe your hands off. I love it. The cool part with these towels is they are different on the front side than they are on the back side. And the way we did that is this, on this side, is a 3-1 twill. And on the back side, it's a 1-3 twill. So a 3-1 twill, if you don't know, means that the weft goes under 3 and over 1. And because the stripes are threaded such, well, I should say everything is threaded in a straight draw, but the tie-up created a 1-3 twill where the colored stripes are and a plain weave where the white stripes are. So on the back, the weft is going over 3 threads under 1 thread where the colored stripes are. So you're seeing more white than color. On this side, it's the opposite. So you're going under 3 and over 1. So you're seeing more of the color on the top, which is the warp. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I guess that's it. I really like how they turned out. It was an easy weave. Like I said, it was quick. Oh, one thing that I did want to point out is the pattern in the book calls for floating selvage. But as I'm weaving along, oh, my light just went out. Okay. As I'm weaving along, I realized that, well, the edge is a white edge and it's a plain weave. So I don't need a floating selvage. So I ended up cutting the floating selvage off and just weaving without it. And I could weave twice as fast because I didn't have to worry about going under that floating selvage, going in and over it, or going over it, going in and under it, going out, or however you handle your floating selvage. So I was able to weave much faster. I do have another project on the loom already that is inspired by these. It's not quite the same. It uses a similar 3-1 twill to create the stripes, but they're going to be placemats, and excuse me, they're going to be done in 3-2 cotton. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to make these yourself, they're super easy, and they're in Susan's book, which has a lot of great patterns, and I think I said that. But if you'd like to buy them pre-made, you can head to my Etsy shop and find them there. I really appreciate you watching my videos. And if you are watching this on your phone or your tablet, if you can look down at the bottom of the video where you hit the like button and the subscribe button, you might have to swipe to the right a little bit. See if you have a button that says hype. If you can hit that hype button, that will feed the algorithm gods and promote my video more. So thanks for watching and happy weaving.